Hello guys, welcome back. Today in this video we're going to look at how we can play around with curtain walls. So this is our Revit file and the unit of this setup is centimeters. You see I go to architectural menu, I click on wall and I select this wall architecture, and by clicking on this little arrow over here, I scroll downwards and I select this curtain wall, and I go to my default 3D view and I draw this curtain wall, and then I go to the same location and I select this exterior glazing and this is it. And next I select this storefront. You see curtain wall is a single glass, whereas exterior glazing is a combination of glass panels, and storefront is glass panels bounded by mullions. If I select this curtain wall and then I go to architectural menu and I select this curtain grid and I select this odd segments and I click somewhere over here, I can select, I can create a grid. This is now horizontal, and if I want a vertical one, I can click here and I can create a vertical one. Similarly, I can again create a horizontal one. And if I select this one segment option, I can create a single segment, okay, over here. And if I click over here, I can create a single horizontal segment over here. So this is how we can convert a curtain wall into a exterior glazing. If I select again this curtain wall as a hall and I go to this architectural menu and over this mullion icon, and if I select this grid line option, you see it has created a complete long mullion over here over this grid line. And if I select here, you see an entire mullion has come. And if I select here, you see an entire mullion has come over here. And if I select this grid line segment, I can create a mullion on this only on the segment I select. And if I select here, you see has come on the very same segment on which I clicked. Okay, this is it. If I select this all grid lines and I select somewhere on my curtain wall, I can create grids all around the panels. Okay, that's it. Now I don't want this curtain wall anymore, so I just select it and delete it. And now we have this storefront over here. Before going deep into storefront, let me show you something. So I go to my level 1 and I click on this wall tool and I draw a wall. If we take this generate 200 and I draw a wall over here. And now I again go to architectural menu and I select this storefront and I create a storefront like this. And then I go to my 3D view. I can see my storefront is over here. Again, I select this storefront. I can control the beginning and the end by going to the properties. Here you see base constraint level 1, base offset 0. I can change it to 60 centimeter. It's unconnected. I change it to level 2 and I put a top set of minus 60. You see, yeah, all these controls are very similar to that of walls. Okay, now I again create a wall. Now I again go to architectural menu and I create a wall and the 200 wall. And now if I go to curtain wall and I create a curtain wall in you see, it's embedded. Why is it happening so? If I select this curtain wall and I click on this edit type, if I click on this little box, just try to automatically embed it, something will happen. You see what's going to happen. Yeah, now the curtain wall is automatically cut into our walls. Okay, instead of doing this, we can perform this in another way. I select this wall and I type CS, that is create similar, and I draw a wall and I go to level 1 and this is my wall, and I go to my curtain wall and I create a curtain wall over here. Now it's automatically cut because we have activated the embedded option earlier. So if I select this curtain wall and then I go to edit type, and if I uncheck this automatically embedded option, you see it's still here because we have created this particular curtain wall before we uncheck that option. So let's delete that. And again, we create a curtain wall over here and you see it is embedded. So how can we overcome this? Just go to modify tab and select this cut, then select this wall and then this cutting wall. You see now it's okay. Now we don't want all these things. Just select and delete that. Now again go to the default 3D view. Okay, let's now try to modify it. So I select this curtain wall, the storefront, and I go to this properties box, properties browser, and when I scroll down a bit, I can see some options like you see here, a vertical grid, numbers 8, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are border mullions, and the internal what this number represents is the number of internal vertical mullions over here, and you have this justification beginning. That means something that the kind of division here you see is started from the beginning. That means that, but I don't know where is the beginning and where is the end. You can play around with it and find where it has assigned this beginning and the end. And you see here horizontal grid, the same thing, number 3, that means 1, 2, 3, and these two are the border ones, the border horizontal ones. And here you have this justification end, and let me change it to beginning, and you see what's going to happen. You see here the mullions are the horizontal mullions are shifted to upwards. So this may be the end. Okay, that's all with that, and I go to this edit type and I first duplicate it because I don't want to hurt anything that is inbuilt. So I select this name storefront and I click on this OK. First we have this function exterior. That means that this is an exterior structure. I think that's what it means. NXT is automatically embedded and it is checked here. And I already have showed you what is the significance of having this checked here. Next is curtain panel. You see here system panel glazed. I can click here and click on this little arrow over here. I have a lot of options here. You can apply whatever you like. From here, we have this curtain panel solid. If you select this, then those panels will be solid. Okay. Then joint condition, then vertical grid continuous. I will show you what that means. Okay. You see here, let me rotate a bit. You see here, the vertical grid is continuous and the horizontal grids are broken apart when they encounter a vertical grid. This is what that means. Again, go to edit type. If you want a different one, then you can click here and you can change it to horizontal grid continuous and something else. All other things you can select and apply. Then we have this vertical grid layout maximum spacing 152.40. What that means is the maximum spacing in between the vertical grids is 152.4. In no case the spacing will exceed this number. Let me show that. I go to this elevation and I take this annotated tab and I click on this aligned option, and you have 105, again 105. Yeah, these are 105. And you see, if I go to level 1 and I extend it a bit and then go to east elevation once again, you see it becomes 103. And once again, I go to level 1 and I extend it more and I go to east elevation. I see is 106. Okay, that means that the maximum spacing in between these vertical grids are a constant, and in no case it will not exceed that particular number that is written there. That means I think it is 152 you see there. Now again set this storefront, the curtain wall, and I go to this edit type, and we have here, we just change it to fix the number. Then I call this OK. And then if I go to this properties dialog box, you have this number 11. That means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. And if I select this and I click on here 3, then you see what's going to happen. Yeah, this only 3. If I select this 3 and change it to 6 and then apply, then you have the 6 numbers over here. If you want to change this option, once again back to what it was originally, then you go to edit type, you select this dialog box and you change it to maximum spacing. Okay, the same thing you can see here under horizontal grid, layout, fixed distance and spacing to 240. You can play around with it and see how it's going to change those things, our software structure. And then we have this vertical booleans. You see interior type, border type, one border type, two, then horizontal, under horizontal booleans, the same thing, interior type, border one type, border two type, and all these are rectangle booleans, 50 by 150 mm. Let's change these sections and see what's going to happen to our software structure. So I select this and I go to this edit type and first under this vertical boolean section, I set this interior type. I change this to 30 mm square and the same thing here. I just copy this with using Control C and I click on here and I drag and select this and then I use Control V to paste that thing there. Okay. Now I have changed the interior type of vertical, both the vertical and horizontal booleans, and I click on this apply, then okay. Now let's zoom a bit and you see these are 30 mm square ones, both the horizontal and the vertical type, while these are the original ones, which I think is 50 by 150. But something awkward happened here. The continuity has lost over here. We can change it easily, no problem. Just select it, then tap on this toggle boolean joint. Now it's okay. Again, come here, select this, and again tap on the same place. Similarly, you can join everything that has just been detached. Now let's delete this. Now let's create a new storefront by going to architectural menu. This time I select the same one, the storefront 2, which has been edited and modified by me. Okay, you can see the same problem over here. No problem. Just do what we did before. Select the Boolean segment and click on this toggle Boolean joint and it will be joined. And you see everything has been joined together. If you want to move any of this grid, you can do that. You come select this grid. If you feel any hard time selecting the grid, then use your tab key until you get a dotted line, a blue dotted line. Then you select that. You can select the whole grid together. Then you unpin it from here by clicking on this button or by clicking on this unpin tool. Okay, this now it is unpinned. Then if you want to change the location, then you can select here and you can change the dimension. I type 150. You see it's shifted to upwards. If you want to move downwards, then you select this thing and then you type a new value of your choice. Now it's downwards. Okay, this is how you can change any grid according to your choice. Once again, select this using my tab key and I change this to 150. Then okay. If I want to insert a new grid, then you go to architectural menu, cut and grid, then select on all segments and click on somewhere you like. Yeah, and a new grid is created. If you want a grid at a particular section, then you again go to cut and grid, select this one segment option and click on where you want to create your grid like this, like this. Okay. If you want to delete a particular segment, then you select that particular grid by using your tab key, as I said before. Then you go to add remove segments tool, click on it, and then you click on from where you want to remove your grid. I click on here and that grid is deleted to see here. Then I insert a new two grids here and I go to architectural menu, cut and grid, one segment option. I click here, then I click here. These are glazed panels, and if you don't want this glazing over this segment, then you try to select your glass panel by using your tab key once again until you get your glass panel highlighted with a blue shade around. Then you click on it and you first unpin it and then you go to properties browser, click on there and you can select this solid. Okay, now it's solid. Let's go to your visual style and change it to shaded and you see it's here and solid. If you want to select multiple panels, then hover your mouse on any of the panels like this and use your
tab key until you get your panel highlighted, then select it, then you right click on it and you'll get this option select panels, and from here you can select along horizontal grid or vertical grid or panels on host. I select this along horizontal grid and I get my all panels selected horizontally. Now I can do whatever I like. I can unpin all of this at one go by just going to this tool and tapping on it. You see everything is unpinned. If you want them to get pinned back, then you click on here to pin it back. Now every panel is pinned back. If you want to alter thickness and everything, again select it and go to the edit type, and from here you can change this offset. I change it to 0.5. Then you can select the change it, finish material, everything from here. You can change the thickness. I change the thickness to 1. Apply. Okay. Now you see here it's much thinner now. If you want to do the same thing over here, then you go to that panel, use your tab key until you get your glass panel selected, then unpin it, then go to properties browser, change it to solid, then go to edit type. If you want a different one, then you go to this duplicate and give a new name. It's solid 2 and click on OK. Then you can put a different offset here, 1, and this is 2 on OK. Now these two solids have different properties because this is solid and this is solid 1. Similarly, you can change your glazing into solid and give different kind of properties and everything over here. If you select your curtain wall and go to the edit type, and over here under this vertical and horizontal mullions, you have so many sections. If you click on this box and scroll down, you have so many sections available. But if you want to give a kind of mullion of a particular section other than those available here, what do you do? Now let me show you how we can do that. So I click on this cancel. I go to my project browser and I scroll down a bit. I can see all those families that are preloaded in this project. And over here, I can see this curtain wall mullion. If I expand that, I can see some kind of mullions that are available in this project: circular mullion, L corner mullion, and rectangular mullion. I select any one of these. Let me select this 30 square and I double click it, and it opens an option box for me. From here, I first duplicate it and I give a name 40 square 2. Okay. Then I change this thickness into 4. Then width on side 1, I select this 1.5 and give 2. Then I alter 1.5 to 2 and I click on this. Okay. Now I have created a different kind of mullion named 40 2. Now if I select my curtain wall and go to edit type, select this interior border or edit type, and I scroll down, I can see this 40 square 2. This is what I created just before. I select it. Then again, I set the same one over here and over here and over here too, and I click on this apply. Okay, now all of our border ones are changed. You see we have this continuous grid over here. If I want this mullion to be a different kind, what will I do? So first I select this mullion. Before going any further, first you unpin it, then go to edit type. First you duplicate here 60 square. Then you change the value over here into 6, and here I put 3 and then 3 and I click on this OK. You see it has changed. If I zoom it a bit, you see the continuity has distorted. So I just click over here and I click on this toggle mullion button. Now the problem is solved. Okay. If I want this grid to be composed with a different kind of mullions other than what we can see here, you can do it very easily. Just first go to a particular mullion and select it. Then holding down your control key, select all others. Okay, now I go to this unpin tool and I just unpin all those, and then I go to this properties browser. I click on this little arrow over here and I select this 60 square 2. Now you see the entire grid gets a new kind of mullion, and that's all that. Suppose if I want to provide a window over here in this glass panel, what do we do? You should know this first, that all those conventional doors and windows that are given in Revit will not suit to this case, but Revit has some dedicated windows that would suit to this kind of places. So let's first load them into our project and then we can proceed further. So first I go to architecture menu, component, place a component and load family. And from here, I scroll down to Windows and we have this curtain wall opening. Select it and open. But we get a warning here that says this family cannot be loaded. I don't know what is the exact reason behind that. In such similar cases where you experience this kind of difficulties, you can override it by taking a different route. Now let's just look into what it is. Let's click on this no, and then go to file menu, then go to open family, and then go to your library, go to Windows. You have this curtain wall ending over here. Select it and open it. Then you load it into project. Now, if you go to your project browser window section and when you expand it, you can see it's the okay. Now let's proceed with the storefront. So this is the panel where I want to fix my window. So I select this panel and first I unpin it. Then I go to my properties browser. I click on the little arrow over here and then I scroll down, and I have this window, curtain wall opening, and I select it. And you see my window has come over here. It's here. In the same way, we can fix a glass door here. So for that, we go to architectural menu, component, place a component, lot family, and this time we go to libraries, doors, and we have this curtain wall double storefront. Select it and open it. Now go to the glass panel where we want to fix our door and select it. Try with your tab key. And when you see the highlighted blue box, click on the panel to select it and then unpin it and then go to properties panel. Click on this little arrow over here. Scroll down a bit. You can see your door over here. Just click on it and you see it has come. But you see our door doesn't have any handle now. So I go to this detail level and now it's medium. I change it to fine. Now you see now it has its door handle. Next thing we need to do is to delete this horizontal mullion. So first of all, I want to select it. If you feel a hard time selecting it, just use a tab key to select it. Then hold down your control key and select the other piece too. Then you go to your unpin tool and unpin both. Then you just hit your delete key to delete it. And you see now your door looks much better. Now we have these two storefronts joined at a corner. But if I zoom it a bit, you see that this is not perfectly joined. It's kind of standing as different ones, even though they are joined at a single point. So I think this is a bit ugly. So I want to replace these two mullions with a single one. So what should I do? For that, I first come select any one of these mullions using my tab. I select this one. Then I go down and select this pair like this. First, I go to this unpin tool to unpin it. Then I hit my delete key to delete it. Now it's okay. One of our corner vertical water mullions have gone. So next, using my tab, now I select my this vertical mullion and using the control key, select this one too. Then I unpin it from here and then I go to this properties dialog box. I click on this little arrow over here. I select this L corner mullion. Now it's over here, but I think it's a bit oversized. So I go to this edit type and I have this 15 over here. I change this to 10. Then I change this to 5 and here 5 and click on this apply, okay, and it's over here. If you want to edit the profile of the storefront like you do with your wall, you see I just want to make this edge a slanting type. So I select it and I go to this edit profile and I select this line tool and I join this edge with this corner and then I select this trim tool and join them. Then I delete this, click on this delete elements. Now we get this edge slanted. And finally, let's create a grill with our storefront. We're going to create a grill along this niche using storefront. For that, I go to this architectural menu and I select this curtain wall storefront. And then I click on this edit type. First, I duplicate this storefront 3. That's okay. And the first thing we need to take care of is this horizontal grid. The layout is fixed distance. That's okay. And the spacing, we have to change that. Now it is 240. I change it into 15 as 15 centimeter. And the vertical mullions interior type. We don't want any interior type. Let's select this none. And in the horizontal mullions interior type, let's change that to 30 mm square. And the border type 1 and border type 2 both are not required. So I put none over here and then I click on this OK. And then I go to this level 1 and I set this storefront 3 and I draw from here to here. Now it's over here. Now I take the move tool and I set this storefront and I move this from this point to this point. But you see our wall is also shifted. It's because that this storefront is joined with the wall. So let's undo that. And again, we select this storefront and you see a blue dot over here. You right click over it and you click on this disallow join and you do the same thing over here. Once again, disallow join. Now click on move. Now it's okay. Let's go to our 3D view. Yeah, it's here. You see, this is our grill. And that's the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching and goodbye.